Okay, welcome to Halloween Fest 2020. This year we are starting things off with PT, the playable teaser for a game that never came out, Silent Hills, which is a game that always bums me out whenever I think about it. This is a Hideo Kojima game he was making alongside with director Guillermo del Toro and horror manga artist and writer Junji Ito. It was going to star Norman Reedus. He got fired from Konami, and obviously he got to do Death Stranding, and Junji Ito and Guillermo del Toro were involved in that game in a minor capacity. But this is genuinely one of the best horror game experiences. This is a genuinely scary game, and I don't get creeped out very often by games, but this is one of the few exceptions. And the fact that it's just a little tease, a little treat, is really phenomenal. This is the whole time when this game was coming out was one of the most special times. An entire community was just created trying to figure out what the hell this game was, how to beat it, and then when it was revealed that it was a teaser to a Silent Hill game was really great. So this little loop here, this game is set in different loops. That previous one, all you had to do was walk back to the beginning and then back to the door. I will be explaining as we go. Me and my friends used to have a gaming night, and I picked this game one night, and it was just four of us playing the game, trying to figure out what to do. We went about an hour without seeing anything scary, and it had one of the greatest payoffs for a gaming experience I've ever had, where my friend was desperately trying to figure out what was going on. One time he turned around and the ghost character Lisa was standing there, and it killed him instantly. He got so scared. I've never seen this in reality. He threw the controller across the room. I've never seen that before. So I will always remember that experience very fondly. But that time, all you had to do was look in the bathroom. Some of these are a lot easier to figure out than others. As we'll go on, you'll see how weird this can get. The sound design in this is genuinely scary. That noise that you just heard sounds very Silent Hill. There are certain games that come out that never get released that if I had a wish, I would say this one gets made. I think if I could resurrect any one canceled game, it would probably be this one, Silent Hills. So here you just pick up the flashlight, and then you gotta look at the mirror. This one's kind of finicky. This is what's so weird about this game, is that I'm doing the right thing, but I don't think I'm looking at exactly the right pixel. So even though I already looked in the mirror and I looked at the weird little fetus baby, it only counted that specific time. I was in that bathroom for a couple minutes, just kind of looking around. It can get kind of weird, and I think that helps the horror almost. But yeah, if I could resurrect one canceled game, it would 100% be this one. Of course, if we're talking just theoretical, if I could make any game will it into existence, it would probably be Beautiful Joe 3, but that's another topic for another time. This one, you just want to look at the radio, you want to zoom into the radio.
Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started. Retrieved the rifle and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen. You can't trust the tap water.
I mean, this game had three of my favorite creative minds working on it. Kojima, Del Toro, and Junji Ito are all three people that independently I've loved for years. And the fact that they were all working on this one game, which is a Silent Hill game, which is like a prestige in and of itself, is just one of the most sad things. There are a lot of people who theorize, and I might be one of the people who believes this, that this game isn't real. Like, this was never really meant to turn into something. It's very art house. There's a lot of things in this game that really do look like it's Kojima talking to the player about the Konami firing. Especially when we get to the end. There's a monologue that happens at the end of this game that literally sounds like Kojima saying, Konami sucks, I've been pigeonholed doing the same thing for years, now I'm gonna go do something else. I'm taking these people with me, and I'm doing something else. It really literally sounds exactly like that's what this game was. I'd like to think that Silent Hills was going to be something, but there's a lot of evidence to the contrary. So here there's a couple messages written on the walls. This one says, hello. And there's another one down over here. So what you want to be doing here is you want to zoom into each of them and just kind of keep walking in between the messages. And yes, that baby does sound like it's being murdered. I'd love to know how they got that audio. Sometimes you'll see me kind of turn around strangely, or before turning around, I'll look down and then up. That's because this game is genuinely very scary to turn around in. There's a good chance that if you turn around, the Lisa ghost will be behind you and just kill you. I've seen that happen many times. And in fact, after you pick up the flashlight, Lisa is always behind you. Someone hacked the game and found that out. That as soon as you grab that flashlight, the game has programmed Lisa to always be behind you. So sometimes when you're pointing the flashlight, you'll actually see Lisa's shadow on the wall. And you'll hear noises behind you. It's very genuinely unnerving, this game. And I've been saying it for years. Kojima needs to just make a horror game. Because his games are weird enough as it is, that I really genuinely think, even though he's not a horror guy, he really would be good at making horror. So here, we just want to keep running until we see a painting that has been removed from the wall, like right here. And then we want to zoom into the hole. This is kind of precise. The controls are a little weird. Aesthetically, I think there's a lot in this game that Resident Evil 7 took. I think PT, I think, was inspirational, probably, for a lot of people at Capcom. I have a feeling that this game left a void that Capcom saw and immediately filled with Resident Evil 7. I mean, maybe they were both in development at the same time, but there's a lot of similarities between, like, the aesthetic of this hallway loop and, like, the Baker house. The room that you start off in this game looks like the boot up screen in Resident Evil 7 on the PS4. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, all you have to do is look in that wall, and then eventually this loop will start again. Yeah, there's like guides you can look up now, I guess, that show you what to do. I'm doing most of this from memory because I have beaten it before, but there was a time when literally no one knew what the hell to do. There's still, I think, some ambiguity in what you're supposed to be doing in this game, which I think very interesting, that people, 6 years down the road, haven't quite figured it out yet. So this one, I like to call this one the Psychomantis loop. This is the most Kojima part of this game, at least in my opinion. I still think, I don't know, there have been a lot of rumors about Konami making a Silent Hill game. I feel like there is one being made. And I don't know. They're going to try and capitalize on PT. I think they're going to try and do a PT thing, but I don't think it's going to feel the same. I guess I'm glad that this game didn't happen, because I really genuinely do love Death Stranding. But this was such a weird, dark era for some of my personal favorite games.
204863. 204863. 204863.
Yeah, this... Actually, I don't think this is supposed to be happening. I don't know, I think there might be something wrong with my capture card, or the game itself. I actually... I'm not quite sure what's going on here. This might be wrong. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to take a look at my capture. So, yeah, that's the Psychomantis part. He basically... He does the Hideo thing again from Metal Gear Solid 1. I got a glitch to happen here. You're supposed to hear some audio here, but the game audio cut out for me, so I actually had to re-record this and insert the audio into this. So what you're seeing here is not technically what I saw.
I could do nothing but walk. And then I saw me walking in front of myself. But it wasn't really me. Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
So yeah, you see the subtitles dropped out there. The audio did for me too. So this part is where it gets really wacky. This is the part that I still don't think that there's a great, like, consensus on what exactly the hell you're supposed to do here. This is the only thing that is definitely set in stone. You have to wait until midnight. You have to look at this clock until midnight. Usually, I don't think this clock is moving. I don't think you can hear ticking. And I don't think the time actually will change normally through the loops. This is the only time where this actually happens. So we do have to wait quite a while for midnight. And while we're doing that, I would like to say that I genuinely miss the Fox engine. This is, of course, running in the Fox engine. I think they toned down the graphics because Kojima said he wanted it to look like an indie developer made this. Because it's like 7-8-30 Studios or something like that. Because this was not announced as a Silent Hill thing. It was just announced as some trailer for some indie game that was happening. But yeah, I really think that if Kojima was still allowed to use the Fox engine, it would be the best looking game engine right now. I think that the RE engine has taken its place, but I genuinely miss that. So we have to get a baby to laugh 3 times. The first way that most people agree to do it is to take 10 steps. Although I've taken more than 10 steps and the baby has not laughed. So I'm just going to keep walking back and forth until anything happens. Another theory is to keep looking at the phone, the radio, and the mirror. But I don't think that one's true, but I looked it up. And you'll see that in a couple guides. They'll tell you to get the baby to laugh by looking at those 3 things, like back and forth. So there you go. I don't know if that was because I looked at the phone or because I took 10 steps. The radio, phone, mirror, or the message on the wall could be something. It's probably not, because I'm gonna keep trying that here, but nothing is going to happen. And look at that, that's fucking terrifying. Just seeing it, that's not scary. That's a jump scare, that's not scary. So yeah, this is still up in the air. This could be anything. I'm gonna look at the mirror. I'm gonna look at the phone a couple more times. I'm gonna look at the radio. This is also the part that Lisa is most likely to attack you in. So if you dilly-dally here, or if you just make quick turns, I would assume she would grab you. You'd be grabbed by the ghoulies. So yeah, after having not played this for a while, I was really racking my brain figuring out what to do. The actual solution here is absolutely fucking hilarious. It's the most Kojima thing, and I don't know how people ever found this out. I did not. This is the only part of the game that I was not able to find out for myself. So what I had to do was plug in my microphone to the PlayStation, and you have to speak a specific word. Again, the word is in contention. What I spoke, the word I spoke was J. J-A-Y, J. And as soon as you hear the baby laugh, do not move. The baby's gonna laugh, and right now my controller is vibrating. Do not move. Don't move the camera. Don't move yourself until the baby laughs again. Otherwise, you will die instantly. So now that the baby has laughed the third time, we are now good to go. The phone's gonna ring. We just need to pick it up. And this is the monologue that I'm telling you about. The monologue that we're about to hear is, I'm almost positive, Kojima talking to us about getting fired from Konami, or at least him breaking away from Konami. I think this would have made sense if you could go out the front door, but you just go through the door that you've been going through. So enjoy this bit of Kojima probably talking to you.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
So that is PT. I really love it. I think it's a cool experience. It's very, very unique. It's unlike anything, especially since the game that it's attached to doesn't exist. And the fact that they delisted this, you can't play this anymore unless you already had it on your PS4. I luckily never deleted it. Hopefully never will. So yeah, that is the start of Halloween Fest this year. I got some cool stuff planned. Resident Evil 3 obviously is going to happen. Hank and I think, hopefully, if everything works out well, we are going to be playing through Dead Space 3 together. I think that's probably the best way to play that. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay spooked, my friends.